Okay, so for many of you who know or may not know, this is our podcast episode. So I'm going to be talking about a couple things while we're doing this live, and it will also be very interactive if anybody joins. And if not, it will be very interactive in the comments below. So today's episode is Claim It with a I.T. It stands for something. Actually, the word claim stands for something too. We're not going to go into all the details of that right now. But for today's episode, I want to jump into what is claiming it. Claiming your life's vision, claiming your life's mission, claiming the words that you speak, claiming what you desire, not just saying it, not just deciding New Year's time that that's the best time for you to do something or start again and again and again. I tell people, if you want to start again and again and again, allow yourself to do it every day. You get to choose every day. You don't have to, but you get to choose. If you don't like the results of yesterday, what are you going to do different today? Just one thing, or the whole day. You get to choose. Because many people don't know my vision, my mission, especially right now, because I changed it. In the last 6 months, I've been going deep and really figuring out in this next half of my life, what do I want for myself selfishly, and what do I want for us all? Because what I want for myself is really for us all. I used to think it was just for my daughters and my husband and my loved ones and my mom and my dad and my brother and my family, but it's for us all. I want to be the inspiration. I want to be the spark that ignites others to show you what's possible. Because my vision is women get to have it all. We know men get to have it all. That's been the stereotype for decades. But I want women to know that they get to. They don't need to, they don't have to, but they get to have it all. No exceptions to what your have it all is. No exceptions. It's your freedom, it's your wealth, and it's your way, period. Not my way. My way might work for you, but when I coach my clients, whether they're in a masterclass or a mastermind or working one-on-one with me, it's always their way. Sometimes I give them tips, tricks, solutions, things, the how, but if it's not aligned with them and their core, it's not worth doing. Because every solution out there that everyone has proven, whether it's in business or professionally, personally, works for some people, doesn't work for others. But when I talk about my vision, women get to have it all, no exceptions. Your freedom, your wealth, your way. Have it all, love it all, claim it all, confidently. And that's claiming your self-worth. That's claiming your confidence. That takes courage. It takes courage. That's why this podcast that I have is called Courageous and Free. It takes courage to claim your freedom. It takes courage to claim your worth. It takes courage to claim your confidence at this level, and then the next level, and then the next level. This is why it's my mission. It's my mission to do this by clearing away the bullshit, clearing away the BS, allowing others to be activated by the clearing away, and then aligning to and expanding into your truth. That's it. That's what's most important. If you're living a life that doesn't feel good, it's because you're not living in your truth. Your soul is saying, I want more. I want something different. I think I deserve it, but I'm not sure yet. And if you're not sure, it's just because you haven't changed. You haven't made that commitment to change. When you clear away everything that's standing in your way, that is ease. That is flow. When you clear away everything that's standing in your way from living in your truth, this is called intentional living. You get to have it all, no exceptions, your way, whatever all is to you, your freedom, your wealth, your way. And I don't just mean monetary wealth. I do mean monetary wealth. That's one piece of it, but I don't just mean monetary wealth. I mean a wealth of happiness, a wealth of health, a wealth of joy, a wealth of adventure, connection, relationship. Because money's going to come and go, but if you don't have your health, and your happiness, what value does money actually even bring? So I have a couple methods. I have an EFFIT method, EFFIT. Yes, EFFIT intentionally spells that out and has deep meaning to it. I have a AAA method. I have so much content to share that I've been developing over the years. Some's been released, some of it has been released to the public. Some of it has not been released to the public. Some of it I work with my one-on-one clients only. Some of it, it's only in my masterclasses, free or paid for. But all of the content that I share has integration and activation so that people can learn, do, and become. Learn, do, and be in ways that is speaking to and living out their truth, the freedom, your way. So if you look at my bio, my Instagram bio, for example, says I'm a 7+ figure high ticket sales queen because I have over 22 years of experience in high ticket sales, whether it's for digital products and programs, cellular health programs, weight loss programs, coaching programs, you name it, corporate health and wellness. I've sold keynote speaking for some gurus that I've worked for at the Human Performance Institute way back in the day. $30,000 an hour for someone to speak. Sold those packages in my early 20s, right? So I am a sales queen. That's just a part of who I am. It's not just who I am, it's a part of who I am. I am a mentor. I am a BS clearer and wealth coach because of my vision and my mission, which I just shared. And this is why in my bio, it says you get to have it all and live versus exist. There's been times in my life, I don't like sharing this, but I've only existed. I was numb. I didn't feel good, depressed about something, and I was just existing. But I get to work with people to help them have it all, know what's possible, and live, not just exist. Your freedom, your way. This is intentionally aligning and expanding. When you're intentional with where you put your time, where you invest your time, who gets your time every single day, and you're aligned in your truth, you get to expand into more of that, receive more of that. And when it feels good, you want more of it. Not just the financials, but the happiness and the impact and the gratitude and the, I finally found a soulmate, or I finally found a soul client, or I finally had a connection with a loved one that I've never experienced before. That type of expansion, the feel so good. And then breaking through to limitlessness. We are just cells and a soul. Our soul is limitless. But most of us do not believe that because we're operating from our mind, which is very limited. Limitlessness is an option, and you can break through to that for whatever extent you're desiring. And I know most of you are like, okay, this is about claim it. When are we going to talk about claiming it? Well, first you have to get crystal clear on who you are and what you want, who you stand for, and why. How does that make you feel? And when it feels really good, when you're journaling out who you are and not just the roles and the titles, but I am a BS clearer, I am compassionate, I am a coach, I am a mentor, I am a recovering perfectionist. Like, who are you? And if you need help with some of that, go back to my other podcast episode that talks about who are you, the real you. And it should light you up. It should light you up so much that you cannot stop thinking about it. Then you get to decide and claim it. Let go of the rest. Let go of the things you cannot control. Isn't it funny that I have another podcast episode about that already? Go back to my old episodes. Let go of the things that are out of your control. Have peace with that. Realize you get to let that go. Then you get to decide versus claim. Deciding is what we do every single day, every few seconds. I'm deciding to do this. I'm deciding to say that. I'm deciding to breathe. I'm deciding to da, 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 da. 30,000 to 50,000 times a day. We're deciding machines. We're meaning-making machines. But what does it mean to claim it? You can decide consciously or unconsciously, with feeling, without feeling. Claiming it is an ownership. I claim to be a wealth mentor and a BS clearer. It is in my DNA ever since I was 5 and I was a little bossy boss, as my parents called me, leading around the neighborhood kids as, actually, I think I was younger. There's a picture of me in a diaper. I'll have to find it, leading around kids older than me. Maybe I was 2, maybe I was 3, but I was just in a diaper, not potty trained yet, leading around kids older than me. I'm in front of a group of kids and they're listening to me. Who was I to think that? I claimed it. I claimed it as a young age to own that I'm a leader. I didn't realize I was doing that then. But when you truly desire something, those feelings that you desire and claiming it and how it will feel to claim it drive the motivation. It's the why power behind it that will trump willpower every single day, especially when it's scary and you don't know what to do or how to do something or what the next step should be. So when you're experiencing something that you truly desire, the feelings are matching up and they're strong and they're present. That's the claiming. That's your truth. That's what we want you to get to. That's what we want you to ultimately feel. So I have in another episode, want versus desires versus needs. So if you're like, oh, I'm not sure if I really want this, or I just desire it, or I definitely need it, like, what's the difference? Go back to the episode 2. And then understand that what you desire trumps it all. When you go after what you desire, your needs are taken care of. You're happier, you're healthier, you're abundant in all the ways, not just financial, even though that's a perk. That's a great vehicle. Financials are an amazing vehicle to impact more lives, experience a better life, and to share and share and share and share and share and share and share. I believe and I know through my own mentors, the more people make, they can do good things with it. The more people make, they can choose to blow it, make bad decisions with it. It's not right or wrong. It's not even good or bad. But I believe the most generous people out there who live their deepest desires and it lights them up like a firecracker. The most generous people have the most to give. And I've seen it from time and time again. And they're usually the ones that aren't showing it all over their social media. Right? And it's okay if they are. If they are, there's no judgment. But most of the time, they're the ones that are just doing it behind the scenes. So last week we talked about this and how effort and things work when we talk about episodes about, effort, ease, flow, fun, intentional with your time. That's what effort stands for. We talked about last week how effort is not just something we say when things aren't going our way, because when it's not ease, flow, and fun, that's a reality check that we're not being as intentional with our time, connected to our truest self and our desires. But when it is ease, flow, and fun, and we are intentional with our time, we get more of that. And when we're feeling that resistance, we want to say F it. But that we can just now laugh and say, okay, I can say F it, but let me go back to what Jackie said. What does this mean? What can I do? I get to choose again. I get to choose where and who I invest my time with. So when you're claiming it, you have to claim it in the state that feels good, not just saying it. Like I said, it takes action daily, consistently, and you're claiming because you get to choose again and again and again and again until it feels right. And it might feel good for a while. And you're like, this doesn't feel as good anymore. Choose again and again. And just be present and aware. When you're intentional with your time, you're aware and you're in that moment. Like I am here live with you. I'm not thinking about what I'm doing 20 minutes from now or 2 hours from now or tomorrow. I'm present now. And don't get me wrong, because other people are going to be involved as you're claiming it in life. And the best time to claim it is when your desire is speaking to you strong and loud and your soul is saying, heck yes, let's go. And your brain says, oh, that's scary. I've never done that before. Or, I've seen other people do that. Do you really think it'll work for you? Trust that intuition. Intuition is the secret that nobody declares as their little secret unless they've been doing it over and over and they practice trusting it. It can seem scary at first if you've never trusted your intuition. And you can look back in hindsight, say, oh yeah, that gut feeling, that's your intuition. Especially if you don't know how or what or who to get started, lean in and trust when it feels good, or take that time to make that decision. Take the time to figure out, am I wanting to really claim this, or is just another thing? Because at the end of the day, it's always start before you're ready, but not before this. And this was the alignment. If you listen back, I think it's episode 1 or 2, start before you're ready. I'm all about starting before you're ready. Don't let the fear delay you. Don't wait till you're 100% ready, because we're never 100% ready. And even when we think we're 100% ready, we get started and we're like, oh no, I wasn't ready. But we don't want to be getting ready to get ready to get ready to get ready to get ready. For what? For delaying something that was going to be what it was going to be anyways, whether we waited for it or not. So what does being in alignment mean? And I go deep with this with my one-on-one clients. I go deep with this in the people that are in my masterminds. But to put it simply, when you're in alignment, it feels good. No matter what you're doing, where you are, who you're experiencing with, work, play, recovery time, when you're in that moment, it feels good. That's how you know you're in alignment. It's a soul, mind, body. Soul, mind, body cycle, not body, mind, spirit, which is what many people were taught for a long, long time. We have to stay aligned. And when we're aligned, we're just tapped into our soul, the best version of us. Who and what is driving this boat? Is it old stories, limiting beliefs, fears, worries, doubts? Or is it your soul and your deepest desires? Because that's where you're going to unlock your truest freedoms. That's where you're going to unlock getting to have it all your way. Because your way will work, because your way is going to feel the best, because it's your way. When you try to cookie cutter and put yourself in boxes of other coaches and mentors and programs and things like that, they might help you figure out your way, but they don't always work for you if they don't feel good. Trust that. And I mean, don't feel good because you don't want to do it. That's called lazy. But you tried it and it's not feeling good, then trust that. If it's a heck no, it's a heck no. And when it's a hell yes, it's a hell yes. Trust that. And here's the thing. There's some examples of so many different people out there that are badasses already, that are successful and still desire more. Women and men that are working really, really hard at claiming it or not, whether they realize it or not. And they're confident and they're making it all and they're having it all and they have the courage and they have the clarity. Hey, oh my gosh, welcome, welcome. And it's just on fire. But what happens is then they get to a point and they're like, in order to have more, I have to do more. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. You can claim more and you can allow in more and you get to choose to have more without feeling guilty, because when you have a pretty good life, it can, and I still battle this every freaking, I wouldn't say day. There's some days I do feel it a couple days in a row, but at least a couple times a year. Who am I to want more? I have an amazing life. I'm a 7-figure high-ticket closer for many, many multi-million-dollar brands out there. And I love what I do. I'm impacting through their options, through their vehicles. I'm impacting lives of the people I get to work with one-on-one and in my mentorships and in my masterminds. I get to allow in more. I get to impact more because I claimed it. But the problem is with most successful people, because it happened to me when I plateaued. It's like, I can't make more than 150,000 a year. I can't make more than 250,000 a year. It doesn't matter what I do. Oh, I'll get my real estate license. I can sell a couple houses on the side. It won't require too much more of my time. Guess what happens? Most successful people book their lives, including myself. This was my old me. solid to meet everybody else's expectations, and left little to zero room for overflow to happen. Because overflow can happen, but we got to claim it. We got to be in alignment. We got to be intentional with our time, which is the point of overflow. So if you have overflow, and I'm going to use money as an example because everybody loves to talk about money, but this is overflow with your health, with your happiness, with your connection, with your relationships, with your adventures. But if you have overflow, let's say in financial areas of your life, overflow and abundance, but you have zero time to be and invest time with others, what's the point of the overflow? What's the value of that overflow? Because when you're working with me, claiming it looks like this. First, we claim and getting crystal clear on what and why we desire. The big things, the juicy things from our soul and our heart of hearts, not from our head, not from logically thinking, oh, if I make this much money, I can do this, I can pay off the house, I can go on these vacations. Yeah, I want to make this much money a year, which means this many, blah, 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 this many, blah, blah, blah. Oh, by the way, yeah, I work for corporate and blah, 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 blah. Or I own my own business and da, 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 da. We got to get crystal clear on what and why. The how actually becomes simple. But who can we be and who can we show up intentionally with the time? That's why I say claim it, IT, intentional with our time. Where are you being intentional with your time or not, without making yourself feel right or wrong? Because if you say you don't have enough time, you're right. You're right. You don't have enough time. If you say you have a lot of time, you're right. Because what I can guarantee you is we all have the same 24 hours in a day. The billionaires have the same 24 hours in a day that you and I have. But are you blocking and prioritizing? Are your priorities real priorities? Are you speaking not just with your words, but with your action to show that your priorities are priority? Are you setting boundaries? Are you only saying heck yes to the things that are a hell yes for your soul and for your priorities and for what you're claiming in life? Or are you a people pleaser? Because I'm a recovering people pleaser and a recovering perfectionist that says yes to everyone and everything because you just want everybody to be happy. Happy, happy, happy. Sometimes it's letting go of certain things, certain people, certain commitments that no longer serve us. That might be a hard thing to hear right now, but sometimes it's letting go. If you can resonate, let me know. And if you're having problems or challenges or struggles with this, let me know. I've had to do it every single time I've leveled up to the next thing and the next thing of claiming what I desire and standing in my power and then eventually owning it until I get to the next level. And then I want more. And again, it's not just the financials. The financials are great. And to me, I always called them a blessing, but I'm like, they're a blessing, but look at all the other things I get to be abundant in. My health, my happiness, my adventures, my connections, my relationships, the love, all of it. Because you get to have it all. Even if you don't believe it yet, if you're hearing this for this first time, please just be curious with this thought that you get to have it all. And you get to have it all your way. That takes the pressure off. That allows in fun and creativity and ease and flow. And then we can say F it to the rest. All right. I'm going to wrap up today's episode. I'm going to leave you with this. Allow yourself to have a great day. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend and what yet's to come. And play around with what you're claiming. Whether you're intentional with it or not, play around with the awareness and getting clear on what you're claiming and where you need to shift, because you do get to have it all. You get to live your freedom your way. Sending you so much love. Mwah. Till next time.